Hello friends, in this video I'm going to discuss the method to find maximum and minimum value of given functions. Let us start. Let fx be a function defined on the interval close interval ab and c be any interior point of I. Then first maximum. Fx is said to have a maximum value at x is equal to c if there exists delta positive such that for every x in the upper interval c minus delta c plus delta, when x is not equal to c, fx is less than f of c. Okay, this is the condition for the maximum value. Fx is said to have a maximum value at x is equal to c. Means here we have a C point here and we have to check its maximum at the point C. Then fx is said to have a maximum at x is equal to C if there exists a neighborhood around C. C minus delta, C plus delta, where delta is any small positive number such that for every x in this neighborhood, in this interval, C minus delta, C plus delta, where x is not equal to C, except this point. At x is equal to C, we have this inequality f of x is less than f of c. In this case, we say fx is uh, fx is having a maximum value at x is equal to c, and in this case fc will be the maximum value. Okay, and same way we define the minimum value. Fx is said to have a minimum value at x is equal to c if there exists delta positive such that for every x in this open interval c minus delta c plus delta, where x not equal to c, condition satisfying this inequality, f of x is greater than f of c. Means here also we have a neighborhood around c, c minus delta, c plus delta, and we have this inequality, f of x is greater than f of c for every x in this neighborhood, in this open interval c minus delta, c plus delta, where x is not equal to c, except at this point we have this inequality, f of x is greater than f of c for every x in this open interval except the point c. Then in that case we say fx is having minimum value, and in that case fc is the minimum value of f of x. Okay, next we have the extremum. Fx is said to have an extremum value or extremum or turning value at x is equal to c if it has either a maximum value or the minimum value at x is equal to c. Then if it has either maximum value or the minimum value, then fx is said to have extremum or turning value or extreme value, extremum. Okay, in the case when fx is having a maximum value or the minimum value. Okay, clear? We have this. Here we note that extremum at x is equal to c is defined only in the neighborhood of x is equal to c. Neighborhood is delta positive, any delta positive, and neighborhood of c is open interval c minus delta, c plus delta. Extremum at x is equal to c is defined only in the neighborhood of x is equal to c, as we have seen in the case of maximum value. We have the condition that for every x in the interval open interval c minus delta, c plus delta, when x is not equal to c, f of x is less than f of c, then fx is said to have a maximum value. And in case of minimum, we have f of x is greater than f of c in the interval for every x in the interval c minus delta, c plus delta, when x is not equal to c. Okay, extremum at x is equal to c is defined only in the neighborhood of x is equal to c. Okay, clear? Now next we have a result necessary condition for the existence of extreme values. Either it is minimum value or the maximum value. We have this result: if fc is an extreme value of a function f and f dash c exists, then f dash c is equal to 0. Okay, we have a result here. If fc is an extreme value of a function f and f dash c exists, then f dash c is equal to 0. We have to Two conditions: if fc is extreme value first, and second, if f dash c exists, then f dash c is equal to 0. This is the necessary condition for the existence of extreme values. Here we note that this is the necessary condition, not the sufficient condition. Okay, now let us prove this result. We are given that f dash c exists, means derivative exists. This means left hand derivative and right hand derivative both exist and are equal. Exist and are equal. That is, left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. Okay, this is the result of differentiability of a function. We know this. Okay, now second is that this is the first condition, f dash c exists. Now second is fc is an extreme value. Okay, next point, next given to us is fc is an extreme value. Is an extreme value of fx. Okay, this means fx has either a maximum value or a minimum value at x is equal to c, or a minimum value at x is equal to c. This is the meaning of extreme value. Okay, now let us assume, let fx have a maximum value at x is equal to c. Let us assume this. Okay, now by definition this implies there exists delta positive such that for every x in the interval c minus delta, c plus delta, where x is not equal to c, we have f of x is less than f of c. Okay, this is the definition, this is the meaning of maximum value. Okay, now we will partition this interval like this. This implies c minus delta less than x less than c, implies f of x is less than f of c. Mark this as equation number 2. And c less than x less than c plus delta implies fx is less than fc. Mark this as equation number 3. Since in the definition of maximum value we have this interval c minus delta, c plus delta, where delta is positive and x is not equal to c. Okay, now we have this interval, and for these two equations we have partitioned this interval. This is c minus delta c, and this c plus delta. Now this f of x is less than f of c is in this whole interval c minus delta, c plus delta. That means this will hold in the subinterval c minus delta and c and c plus delta. Okay, therefore we have these two conditions, 2 and 3. Okay, clear? Now from equation number 2 we have f of x minus f of c is less than 0 from this, and x minus c is less than 0. X minus c is less than 0. Okay, from this x minus c is also less than 0, and f of x minus f of c is also less than 0. This implies f of x minus f of c divided by x minus c is positive when c minus delta is less than x is less than c. Since numerator is negative, denominator is negative, the quotient will be positive. Okay, in the interval c minus delta to c. Okay, now we know left hand derivative is defined as limit x tending to c minus f of x minus f of c divided by x minus c. We know this. Okay. This is left hand derivative. Limit x tending to c minus means x taking values which are less than c. F of x minus f of c divided by x minus c. This is nothing but left hand derivative. Okay. This means also we have exist, that we know since derivative exists. Therefore, from this we get left hand derivative is greater than or equal to 0. Mark this as equation number 4. Clear? Now, same way using 3 we have, from 3 we have f of x minus f of c is less than 0, but x minus c is positive since your interval is c to c plus delta. Okay, this means f of x minus f of c divided by x minus c is less than 0 when c less than x less than c plus delta. Okay. Since numerator is negative and denominator is positive, quotient will be negative in the interval c to c plus delta. Okay. This is nothing but right hand derivative. Also, right hand derivative exists. And from this we get right hand derivative is less than or equal to 0. But we know left hand derivative and right hand derivative are equal. Therefore, from equation number 4 and 5 we get, therefore from equation number 4 and 5 we get, from equation number 4 and 5, but left hand derivative is equal to right hand derivative. Okay, using 1. Okay, from 4 and 5 we get, from equation number 4 and 5 we get f dash c is equal to 0. Hence proved. Okay, again if fx has minimum value at x is equal to c, then by similar arguments we can easily show we have this f dash c is equal to 0. Okay, on similar arguments it can be easily shown that f dash c is equal to 0. Hence the proof. Okay, clear? Now from this we note that first, if f dash c is equal to 0, then x is equal to c is called a stationary point. A stationary point for f, and fc is called stationary value. Okay, stationary value of f first. Then second, from this we have the above conditions is a necessary condition but not sufficient condition for fx to have a maximum or a minimum value at x is equal to c. It is only a necessary condition but not a sufficient condition. Okay, it is a necessary condition but not a sufficient condition. Okay, for this we have example. First, a function may have an extremum means maximum or minimum, has a extremum at a point without having a derivative at that point. Okay, a function may have an extremum without having a derivative at that point. Okay, for this we have example. We have an example for this. For example, if we consider the function mod x, if fx is equal to mod x for every x belonging to real line, then we know the graph of the function mod x is of this form. Okay, graph of mod x is like this. This is x, this is y passing through origin. Okay, now we know this function is not derivable at the point 0. But from the graph itself, it is clear that at x is equal to 0, this has a minimum value. This graph lies in first and second quadrant only. Okay, and this x is equal to 0. At this point, this particular function mod x has a minimum value. It is clear from the graph itself. Okay, but the function is not derivable at x is equal to 0, since limit x tending to 0 minus taking values less than x, f of x minus f of 0 divided by x minus 0. This is left hand derivative. This is limit x tending to 0 minus f of x when x is less than 0 is defined as minus x. F of 0 is 0 divided by x. This is minus 1. And limit x tending to 0 plus taking values more than 0. This is when x is positive greater than or equal to 0, then this is defined as x, mod x is defined as x, and this is divided by x, it is 1. Both limit exist but are unequal. That means f is not derivable. This implies f is not derivable at x is equal to 0. Okay, but from the graph it is clear it has a minimum value. It has a minimum value at x is equal to 0. Okay, that means function may have a extremum without being derivable at the point. Okay, that means the conditions are necessary but not sufficient. Okay, second is f dash c is equal to 0 may not imply that fx has an extremum at x is equal to c. Okay, that was this was the second condition. First was f is derivable. Second is f dash c is equal. This was the conclusion, f dash c is equal to 0. Okay, that means here we have, this was the conclusion, f dash c is equal to 0, that we have proved in the theorem, necessary condition theorem. Okay, now here we note that if f dash c is equal to 0, that may not imply fx has an extremum at x is equal to c. Okay, for example, if I consider the function f of x is equal to x cube, where x belongs to real line, then graph of the function, this x cube is of the form, in this form, graph is like this of x cube. Okay, this is 0, this is x axis, this is y axis. Graph of the function is like this. Okay, now clearly we have f dash 0 is equal to 0, but graph lies in first and third quadrant, and it is clear from the graph that x is equal to 0 is not the minimum value. Okay, but x is equal to 0 is not an extremum point. Okay, not at this point we have a maximum value nor the minimum value. That means it is not a extreme but not an extreme point. Okay, clear? Means if we have this f dash c is equal to 0, that it may not imply fx as an extremum at x is equal to c. For example, if I consider the function fx is equal to x cube, where x belongs to real line, then it is clear f dash 0 is 0, but it is clear from the graph, as graph lies in first and third quadrant, it is clear that x is equal to 0 is not an extreme point. That means it is neither a maximum, neither at this point we have a maximum value nor the minimum value. Okay, clear? Next we come to the sufficient conditions for the existence of extreme values. Now for sufficient condition for existence of extreme values, we have first derivative test. Okay, first derivative test, the statement is, let a function f be derivable on an open interval I and f dash c is equal to 0 where c belongs to the interval I. Then if f dash x changes sign, if f dash x changes sign first from positive to negative as x passes through c, then f has a maximum at x is equal to c. If f dash x changes sign from positive to negative, then in that case f has a maximum at x is equal to c. Second, if f dash x changes sign from negative to positive as x passes through c, then in that case f has a minimum at x is equal to c. Okay, if it changes sign from positive to negative, then f has a maximum at x is equal to c. And if f dash x changes sign from negative to positive, then in that case f has a minimum at x is equal to c. Okay, these are the sufficient conditions for existence of extreme value, and here we are considering the first method called first derivative test. Okay, here we have a remark. If f dash x does not change sign, that is f dash x keeps the same sign in a neighborhood of c, that is open interval c minus delta, c plus delta, then fx is either strictly increasing or strictly decreasing. Then fx is strictly increasing or decreasing in the interval c minus delta, c plus delta, which means fc is not an extreme value, means it is not a maximum value also and nor the minimum value. Okay, if it does not change its sign. Okay, now we consider the example first. Examine the function x cube minus 6x square plus 9x minus 4 for maximum and minimum values. Okay, we will now find the maximum and minimum value for this function using first derivative test. Okay, now let f of x is equal to x cube minus 6x square plus 9x minus 4. Then f dash x is equal to 3x square minus 12x plus 9. Taking 3 common, this is x square minus 4x plus 3. Now this can be written as 3 into x minus 1, x minus 3. Therefore, f dash x is equal to 0 for x is equal to 1 and 3. Now we will check its maximum and minimum value at x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 3. Okay, now for x is equal to 1, when we take x is equal to 1, we will check the sign for f dash x in passing through x is equal to 1. Okay, now for x less than 1, when x is less than 1, f dash x is 3 into x minus 1, x minus 3. Now when x is less than 1, f dash x, now when x is less than 1, this will be negative, and when x is less than 1, x minus 3 will also be negative. That means f dash x is some negative value into negative value. Negative into negative will be positive. Clear? and for x greater than 1. Okay, we are in the neighborhood of x, taking values slightly less than 1, slightly more than 1. Now f dash x, when x is greater than 1, this will be positive. First bracket will be positive, 3 is positive always. Okay, now this bracket, first bracket is positive. Now when x is greater than 1, okay, but slightly more than 1, we are in the neighborhood. See here, we are moving around 1 for very small values in the neighborhoods. Here delta is very small, delta positive. Okay, here we have a 1 here, and this is, let it be 1 minus delta and 1 plus delta, where delta is any small positive number. Okay, this is the neighborhood of around 1. Okay, neighborhood of 1. That means x minus 3 will be negative only. Okay, it is more than 1 but will be less than 3 only. Delta is very small positive number. Okay, now positive into negative, that is less than 0. Okay, that means f dash x on passing through 1 changes sign from positive to negative. Therefore, f dash x changes sign from positive to negative, in going through x is equal to 1. Clear? That means by definition, therefore the function has a maximum at x is equal to 1. Clear? And therefore f of 1, which is 1 minus 6 plus 9 minus 4, that is 10 minus 10, that is 0, is the maximum value of f. Okay, now we considered the second point, x is equal to 3. Now we check at the point x is equal to 3. Okay, at the point x is equal to 3. Now for x is equal to 3. Okay, for x is equal to 3. Now for x less than 3, f dash x, if x is less than 3, it will be less than 1 also. That means this will be negative into negative. Now x is less than 3. Okay, now we have f dash x is 3 into x minus 1 and x minus 3. X is less than 3 but it is more than 1, since we are in the neighborhood of 3, and delta is very small positive number. That means it will be more than 1. Sorry, it is not less than 1, it is more than 1 but less than 3. Okay, that means this is less than 0. Okay, for x greater than 3, f dash x is, first x minus 1 is positive and x minus 3 will also be positive. That means this. Okay, that means we f dash x changes sign from negative to positive. Okay, here we have to remember this. This neighborhood is this 3 minus delta, 3 plus delta, and delta is very small positive number. Okay, if x is less than 3, then it is somewhere like 2.99, 2.98. Like this, we are taking delta positive but very small number, very small positive number. Okay, that means therefore f dash x, changes sign from negative to positive in going through x is equal to 3. Okay, therefore the function has minimum at x is equal to 3, and the minimum value is f of 3, which is equal to x cube, that means 27, minus 6x square. 3 3s are 9. 9 into 6, 54. Same way, this is 9x. 9 3s 27 minus 4. Okay. Now this will be 27. This will cancel out and we are left with minus 4. That means minus 4 is the minimum value. 0 was the maximum value and minus 4 is the minimum value of f. Minimum value of f. Okay. That's how we have to find the minimum value and the maximum value of given function using first derivative test. Okay. Now we have a second derivative test also. Now we will be doing the second derivative test. Okay. Now we have a second derivative test for extreme values. Statement is, let f be a derivable on an interval c minus delta, c plus delta, and let f dash c is equal to 0. Now here we have, if f dash c is equal to 0 and f double dash c, second derivative at c, is less than 0, then f has a maximum at x is equal to c. And if f dash c is 0 and second derivative at c is greater than 0, then f has a minimum value at x is equal to c. This is also sufficient condition test for extreme value. Okay, this is second derivative test for extreme values. Let f be a derivable on an interval, open interval, c minus delta, c plus delta, and f dash c is equal to 0. If f double dash c is less than 0, then f has maximum value at x is equal to c. And if f double dash c is positive, then f has a minimum value at x is equal to c. Here we note that if f dash c is 0, f double dash c is also 0, then we cannot draw any definite conclusion as regarding the maximum or the minimum value of the function at x is equal to c. If f double derivative f double dash c is also 0, then we cannot reach to any conclusion whether f has a maximum value or the minimum value at x is equal to c. Okay, clear? Now we have some we will consider some examples. Okay, now let f of x is equal to x cube for every x in real line. Then f dash 0 is 0 and f double dash 0 is also 0. But we know from the graph, again we have this graph of x cube, this form, f of x is equal to x cube. Now here we note that f dash 0 is 0, f dash x is 3x square, at 0 it is 0, and then f double dash is 6x, then again 0. Okay, but we know x is equal to 0 is neither the maximum nor the minimum value. Okay, but the function has neither maximum nor minimum at x is equal to 0. Okay, nor minimum at x is equal to 0. Okay, means if f dash c is 0, f double dash c is equal to 0, then we cannot draw any definite conclusion regarding the maximum or the minimum value. Okay, if f double dash c is not equal to 0, then we can draw the conclusion about maximum or the minimum. If it is less than 0, then we have a maximum value. If f double dash is greater than 0, then we have a minimum value. Okay, if it is 0, we cannot draw any conclusion. Here we see this. Okay, again we have some example. If let f of x is equal to x4 for every x belonging to R, then here also we see that f dash x is 4x cube and f double dash is 12x square. Clearly f dash 0 is 0 and f double dash 0 is also 0. Okay, but this power is even, graph lies in first and second quadrant, and 0 is not the, no sorry, 0 is the minimum value है ना. Function has minimum at x is equal to 0 since graph lies in first and second quadrant. Okay, value of fx is positive for every value of x. That means function has minimum at x is equal to 0. But here we note that f dash 0 is 0 and f double dash 0 is also 0. And f has minimum at x is equal to 0. Okay, curve lies in first and second quadrant. For every value of x, positive or negative, fx is positive always. Okay, and same way if I consider the function f of x is equal to minus x power 4 for every x belonging to R, then here also we have this only, f dash 0 is 0 and f double dash 0 is 0. And here we have negative sign here. For every x positive or negative, we have sign of fx is negative. That means graph lies in third and fourth quadrant. Okay, that means we have this. Then function has maximum at x is equal to 0. Okay, that means if we have the condition f dash c is 0, f double dash c is 0, we cannot draw any conclusion, definite conclusion regarding the maximum or the minimum value. In the first case, when fx is equal to xu, we have seen that x is equal to 0 was neither a maximum nor the minimum value. Okay, and in these two examples, when fx is x power 4, then function has minimum at x is equal to 0. And in the case of f of x is equal to minus x power 4, we have seen that function has maximum at x is equal to 0. Okay, clear? Now we can generalize our second derivative test in the form this. We can generalize second derivative test like this. Let f be a function defined on an interval, closed interval ab, and a is less than c less than b, and let f dash c is equal to f double dash c up to f n minus 1 c. That means n minus 1 and derivative of f at the point c is 0. And f of n c and a derivative of f at c is non-zero. Then we have two cases. If n is odd, then f has neither a maximum nor a minimum value at x is equal to c. But if n is even, then f has a maximum at x is equal to c if f of nc is less than 0, and f has a minimum at x is equal to c if f of nc is greater than 0. Okay, when we are considering the case of f dash and f double dash, and we have seen that when f dash c is 0 and f double dash c is also 0, okay, we cannot reach to any definite conclusion whether it is maximum or minimum. Means in that case we was having the case of f dash is equal to f double dash is equal to 0, but f triple dash is not equal to 0, and was odd there. Then we can neither say f as a maximum or the minimum. But we have not considered the case. Actually, we have not considered the case of f triple dash, but we were having these two cases. Okay, f dash and f double dash was 0. But we cannot reach to any definite conclusion. We have not considered this case. But the generalized statement for second derivative test is if n is odd, then f has neither a maximum nor a minimum at x is equal to c. Means if we have this type of case, f dash is 0, f double dash is 0, but f triple dash is not equal to 0, then we can definitely say f has neither a maximum nor a minimum at x is equal to c. Okay, but if n is even, then f has maximum if f and c is less than 0, and f has a minimum at x is equal to c if f of n c is greater than 0. Okay, this is generalized form of second derivative test. Okay, clear? Now we come to the example. Find the maximum and minimum values of the function f of x is equal to 12x5 minus 45 into x power 4 plus 40x cube plus 6, where x is the real number. Okay. Now first we find the first derivative f dash x. It is equal to this 45 into 4 180 x cube plus 120 x square, and this is 0. Taking 60 common, 60x square common here, this is x square minus 3x plus 2. That means this can be further simplified in the form 60x square into x minus 1 into x minus 2. Okay, the extreme values of the function are given by f dash x is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 0, 1 and 2. These are the extreme values of the function. Okay, next we will find the second derivative, f double dash x, and this is equal to 240 x cube minus 540 x square plus 240 x. That is, here we have 4x cube minus 9x square plus 4x. Okay, taking 60 outside, we are having this. Now we will check the sign of f double dash x when x is 0, 1 and 2. Okay, now f at x is equal to 2. F double dash when x is 2 is equal to 60. 2 cube is 8. This is 32. 4, 36 plus 8. This is equal to which is positive. That means f has a minimum at x is equal to 0, at x is equal to 2. Okay, using second derivative test. And minimum value is f of 2. It is equal to, on taking x to be 2 here, we get this is equal to minus 45 plus 40 into 2 cube plus 6, and on solving we get here minus 10. Okay, minus 10 is the minimum value. Okay, now we will check its maximum or minimum at the point 0 and 1. Okay, now for x is equal to 1, now we will check at x is equal to 1. f double dash 1 is equal to 4 minus 9 plus 4. That is, this is minus 60, which is less than 0. Therefore, f has maximum at x is equal to 1. And maximum value is given by substituting x is equal to 1 in f of x. f of 1 is equal to 12 minus 45 plus 40 plus 6. On solving, this is equal to 30. That means this is the maximum value and minus 10 was the minimum value. Okay, now for x is equal to 0, f double dash is 0. Okay, now f dash at 0 is 0, f double dash 0 is 0. Now we will find the third derivative. F triple dash x, third derivative is given by 120 x square minus 1080x plus 240, and at 0 it is equal to 240, which is not equal to 0. Therefore, this is odd, 3 is odd. Therefore, by the result we have f has neither a maximum nor a minimum at x is equal to 0. Okay, this is how we have to find the maximum or the minimum values using second derivative test. Okay, clear? In my next video, I'm going to discuss some more problems on maxima and minima, finding maximum and minimum values of the given function. Okay, if you have any queries or any suggestions, please write to me in comment box. Thank you.